From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordo, and this is your News 8 Daily for Tuesday, July 14th. It's going to be another nice day ahead, mostly sunny and seasonably hot. Lows in the 90s return, but nothing too crazy. The humidity levels are going to be in control, so get outside, enjoy the day. Overnight, it's going to get down to about 70 degrees.
Your day moves fast. Your news should too. That's why there's a new and improved Wish TV app, bringing you more local news, breaking alerts, live streaming, weather forecast, radar, and Indiana sports, all in one place. Customize your news feed to see the stories that matter most to you and get the information you need when you need it. Download the new and improved Wish TV app today on iOS or Android and take News 8 with you everywhere.
The City County Council Committee is moving forward with a pause on data centers in Marion County. The council president proposed the moratorium, saying the city needs stronger rules in place. Wish TV's Justin Rizzavi has more from the meeting.
The City County Council Committee has voted in favor of a zoning ordinance amendment that would put a moratorium on data centers through at least December 31st, 2027.
The City County Council Metropolitan and Economic Development Committee voting in favor of the amendment 10-3 after discussion and public comment at Monday night's meeting. The amendment, solely sponsored by Council President Maggie Lewis, comes after months of public pressure from residents who say the city needs stronger rules on data centers, the facilities that house the servers and equipment that keep the internet operational. Many Americans have become opposed to them for a variety of reasons, including concerns about their high water and energy consumption, air and noise pollution, and potential impact on residents' utility bills.
We are against these large hyperscale data centers that are 70-plus foot tall, moving in next door to residential houses. Everything with a data center right now is a negative. I haven't heard one positive.
During Monday night's public comment, many residents railing against the possibility of data centers proliferating throughout Indianapolis.
Why are we asked to have a $100 tax increase while we give these companies massive tax abatements?
Clearly, we the people do not want them here, and they are not safe, even remotely close to residential areas.
No company should come into this city without giving back a lot of money.
I don't think it's for our benefit. I think it's for the benefit of the surveillance state.
Council President Lewis saying she's pleased with the meeting's outcome, saying it's time to hit pause on allowing more data centers in the community until there are more answers about them than questions.
I think it's important that we continue to do this deep dive into how data centers actually impact our community.
Meanwhile, Mayor Joe Hogsett signaling his support for the moratorium, tweeting in the midst of the meeting, "I support the proposed data center moratorium and welcome the additional time to continue this vital conversation."
The amendment will now move to the full City County Council for further consideration. That meeting will be in early August. I'm Justin Rizzavi for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
The plan to build the state's first Buc-ee's is also moving forward to the full council. The Greenwood Advisory Plan Commission passed the rezoning proposal last night. It's the next step in changing 80 acres of land at I-65 and Worthville Road from agricultural to industrial. If the travel center is built there, it would include 120 fuel pumps, 42 EV chargers too. Well, some people who live in Greenwood share their excitement about the plan. School leaders say they're concerned about the potential for increased traffic near schools.
I hope that you, as the Plan Commission, will vote in favor of Buc-ee's tonight. And remember, as the back of my shirt says, life is better at Buc-ee's.
It is very bad. It is very congested. In the mornings, it's a good hour and 45 minutes of constant congestion. Same in the afternoon. It is very difficult for our buses and our families to get in and off campus on Worthville Road.
The full Greenwood City Council still needs to approve the plan. The next meeting is on Monday, August 3rd. A group pushing for mass deportations plans to hold a rally in Fishers starring a controversial former Trump administration official. News 8's government reporter Garrett Berquist explains the plan and the protests it's sparking.
The rally next month will feature former Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Bovino. He was in overall command of deportation efforts when federal agents shot and killed 2 protesters in Minneapolis early this year. Bovino has said he wants to deport as many as 100 million people. That's nearly 1/3 of the entire U.S. population. The group Save Heritage Indiana is organizing the rally. They advocate for tougher immigration enforcement.
I think the deeper goal is to increase a sense of urgency and energize our base that this is the number one issue, and to look for solutions.
I was disappointed that it was going to be in Fishers specifically, but it doesn't surprise me that they're having these rallies around the country.
Grote lives in Fishers and is a board member for Fishers Resist. He says his group already plans to protest the rally. The most recent census data shows more than 11% of the people who call Fishers home were born outside the United States. That's nearly double the statewide average.
We have large immigrant communities in Indianapolis and in Fishers, and those people need our support right now. They're feeling fearful and threatened by the rhetoric from this administration and the actions of ICE and other organizations.
Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith tells me he will provide a pre-recorded video message in support of the rally. He was not able to provide comment on camera. He says, "I've always been a strong supporter of President Trump's immigration policy. After 4 years of the disastrous Biden administration, we need strong leadership now more than ever." Pointer tells me he does not promote violence against immigrants at all. He says this is about enforcing existing immigration laws passed by Congress.
When somebody in your life is taking advantage of you and you're not enforcing your boundaries, when you do enforce the boundaries, they're probably going to get mad at you. But I think at a deeper level, they're going to respect you, that you are a person who has boundaries and you enforce your boundaries.
Pointer says the event begins at 7 p.m. on August 1st. He says for security reasons, he won't reveal the exact location just yet. In Fishers, I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
A Hamilton County dad is facing neglect charges after his 4-year-old son overdosed on methadone. Prosecutors charged 44-year-old Michael Long with 3 counts of neglect. Police say the 4-year-old boy had to be rushed to a hospital from a Noblesville gas station in May. Officers say the child drank methadone at Long's home before they went to the gas station. Police say without emergency intervention, the child would have died. Indiana's I-Team is warning you to watch out for ticket scams for big events, including the World Cup. This is the last week for the games. Kara Kenny talked with one victim who says he wished he paid more attention to the red flags.
The FBI issued a warning about scammers spoofing the FIFA World Cup website. Their websites look just like the real one, but they're not. In fact, people are buying thousands of dollars worth of tickets that don't even exist.
My family's from Argentina, so yeah, it's a big deal for us.
Yves Soroit is a huge soccer fan, to say the least.
We actually went to the World Cup in Russia in 2018, so made it all the way out there.
Through a friend, he met a businessman who called himself Stefan.
Is that he said he worked in marketing, so he would market to these like World Cup sponsors like Michelob Ultra and all these sponsors of the World Cup, Coca-Cola and things like that.
World Cup tickets can go for more than $2,000 per ticket.
And he had them for starting at like 400. It was like 400, 600, 800 for like the higher levels.
Yves had tons of friends and family interested in World Cup tickets, so he paid Stefan $22,000 over the course of several months via Zelle.
And so, did you ever get any tickets?
No. So I had a contract with him for all the tickets. And on the contract, he was supposed to give me the tickets by May 20th. And that day came around, and that's, when I started freaking out.
Yves is out the money, but he's not alone. The FBI issued a warning to World Cup fans about spoofed FIFA websites that look just like the real one. In some cases, they offer discounted tickets and ask fans to pay with cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency payments have become more mainstream, and it's become more widely accepted for the use of crypto. So in an international soccer event like that, it may not come off to people as something that's particularly concerning.
Courtney Warning works for a law firm which represents victims of this type of fraud. She says while they can't find the scammers, they can hold banks, brokers, and other financial institutions accountable.
We look at whether there are any viable institutions that should have been protecting the customer, and that's typically where my cases lie. Let's see who else might be responsible for having failed cybersecurity protocols or failed the duty of care that they owe to their customers, something like that.
To protect yourself, always be skeptical of discounted tickets and be wary of anyone who contacts you offering a deal on a big event, whether it's sports or the hottest concert, and make absolutely sure you're on the correct website when buying tickets. Eves says he now wishes he had done more.
Just the idea of it not being true was like too hard to handle. So I was, trying to convince myself and ignoring the red flags.
Now, the FBI recommends avoiding sponsored search results that can take you away from the legitimate website. Indiana's I-Team is investigating what happened to Eves and a possible Indiana link. We've also confirmed that police are investigating. I'm Kara Kenny with Indiana's I-Team.
Health officials say a severe stomach bug that has infected 99 people here in Indiana has more than 3,000 cases in the U.S., and it could be linked to lettuce. In a statement yesterday, Michigan's chief medical executive said that early information shows lettuce is a common product that comes up in the investigation. Michigan's at the epicenter with more than 2,600 cases. Health officials say other foods cannot be ruled out just yet, and a specific supplier can also not be identified at this point. Officials say the cyclospora parasite can cause explosive diarrhea and severe abdominal pain. Officials say it's best to thoroughly wash fruits and veggies before eating them to protect yourself. 12 states are suing in order to block Paramount's takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery. The lawsuit filed yesterday argues that the $81 billion merger would extinguish competition in Hollywood. The merger would put two of Hollywood's largest studios under one roof, combining the company's extensive libraries. The complaint claims that the merger would inflict substantial harm on movie theaters and basic cable distributors. The states are asking for Warner and Paramount to hold off on the merger until the judicial process concludes. Paramount says that the lawsuit distorts settled antitrust law. Two deadly shootings involving ICE officials in Maine and Houston are sparking new demands for transparency and accountability. Sherelle Hubbard explains what's fueling the protests and public outcry.
Protesters outside of Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins' office outraged that a second person in less than a week has been shot and killed by Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
Where the citizens of this country are literally being gunned down in the street for doing nothing, for the color of their skin. It's disgusting.
Videos obtained by CNN show federal officers and Biddeford, Maine police providing aid to a man who authorities say was killed by ICE Monday morning. The Maine Immigrants' Rights Coalition said the person was a 26-year-old Colombian man authorized to work in the U.S.
He had been given an order to leave the country. He was in a vehicle, pulled out in the vehicle, and the term the secretary used was weaponize the vehicle.
Weaponizing a vehicle, a seemingly recurring narrative in official accounts of ICE killings. Last week in Houston, immigration officials say a federal agent shot and killed 52-year-old Lorenzo Salgado Araujo after he allegedly rammed a law enforcement vehicle, a claim his fellow passengers deny.
His family deserves answers.
Leaders in multiple cities venting frustrations over what they describe as a lack of cooperation with federal authorities after ICE shootings. In Minneapolis, an ICE agent shot and killed Renee Good in January after he approached her car and she started to drive away. Minnesota prosecutors saying Monday they finally have hard drives with evidence that federal authorities had previously withheld.
We are now in July, which marks 6 months.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
The U.S. launched more strikes on Iran early this morning after President Trump said he is reinstating a blockade on Iran in the Strait of Hormuz. Iran responded by targeting Bahrain, Jordan, and two tankers associated with the United Arab Emirates. This comes as the U.S. and Iran traded attacks over the weekend after a container ship was struck Sunday. Trump has suggested that the U.S. will start charging ships for safe passage through the strait. The South Carolina governor has chosen Lindsey Graham's sister to fill his seat until the end of his term in January. This comes as the 71-year-old senator passed away suddenly from aortic dissection over the weekend. The governor chose Darlene Graham Norden after the president recommended her. Because the senator was up for re-election this year, a primary election will be held to replace him on the November ballot. IndyCar drivers are revving up for a race next month in Washington, D.C. A few IndyCar drivers made a pit stop there yesterday to get ready for next month's Freedom 250 Grand Prix. Alex Palou, Felix Rosenquist, David Malukas, and Team Penske owner Roger Penske were at the White House yesterday. President Donald Trump hosted the drivers as part of a Grand Prix showcase. The race is part of America's 250th birthday celebration and will feature a 1.7-mile track around the National Mall.
We think about the Indy 500 as an iconic race,
But this is going to move right up there next to it as far as we're concerned.
This will be the first IndyCar race in Washington, D.C. It is next month on August 22nd and the 23rd. Back here in Indiana, the Indiana Black Expo Summer Celebration business conferences are now underway. The IBE hosted the mayor's breakfast yesterday morning. Organizers say the event honored Charles Johnson, president of Sodexo Magic, for his leadership and his commitment to expanding opportunities for diverse businesses. There was also a special Indiana Black Expo Lunch and Learn event. Organizers say the lunch was designed to help entrepreneurs run a successful business. The lunch focused on practical steps, mindset shifts, and strategic moves. Several financial experts were also there to offer people help.
To give business owners a practical way to run their businesses in a more efficient manner and to have those tools needed to be successful.
The IBE Summer Celebration continues throughout the week. This has been your News 8 Daily from Wish TV. I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.